Welcome to my channel. Think happy, be happy.
Goddess Laxmi and Suchitra. There was a small yet powerful princely state in Rajasthan. The ruler King Raghavendra was an able and ambitious man. His administrative capability and powerful army brought the small neighboring states under the umbrella of his sovereignty. Besides their friendship, the King Raghavendra got rich precious gifts like and valuable gems, jewelries and a large amount of money. The kingdom was now more powerful. The treasury was filled with riches. The sudden influx of excessive power and riches made the king unwise. He was always eager to display his strength and affluence. Once a group of merchants from Kashmir visited the capital. The merchants went to the king to sell their precious crop saffron. On reaching the court, the clever merchants made a loud praise of the king and his riches. The king was delighted and felt proud to hear his praise from the people of far-off places. The shrewd merchants then requested the visibly happy king to buy the saffron for the royal household. The saffron was indeed good. The royal household required a little amount of saffron for their use. However, carried away by all the praise, the king ordered his official to buy the whole amount of saffron. He wanted to display his prosperity and greatness in front of the merchants. The merchants were given a good price for their crop and were sent off. The merchants left happily. However, the royal kitchen did not require such a large amount of saffron. So, the king sent only the required amount of saffron to the royal kitchen and asked his man to throw the bigger chunk of saffron in the river. Laxmi, the goddess of prosperity, observed this wastage and took it as her insult. She fumed and decided to teach the unwise king a lesson about the importance of wealth. The goddess whopped the king's head and soon he was indulged in an extremely unwise game, gambling. The king became so passionate of the evil game that he gradually distanced himself away from all his administrative responsibilities. All the time he was gambling thoughtlessly. The royal treasury was fast becoming empty. However, under the caste of Godess, Bunny, hardly any wisdom was left with the king to think over the consequences. The king and his family were heading towards an uncertain future. Finally, the worst day arrived. The king lost his kingdom, including all his wealth in the cruel game. Bowing his head in shame, he walked out of the palace with his wife, son Surendra and daughter-in-law Suchitra. The king and his family had no option but to leave their own kingdom and stay in some other kingdom. The king and his family settled themselves in the outskirts of the capital of another kingdom. They built a humble cottage to live there and then began looking for some job. Since the place was new and they were unknown to the people around, nobody agreed to give any respectable job to the king and his son Surendra. To earn their livelihood, the king and his son began with the odd job of laborers. The royal family was facing a tough time. However, the daughter-in-law Suchitra was a very wise and nice young woman. She was dexterous in household chores. Suchitra ensured to run the house in a small income earned by her husband and father-in-law. Her pleasant nature and ability to adjust in adversity lessened the sorrow of the family. The young lady often insisted her husband and her father-in-law to bring anything which was found on their way to work and back home, even if that was of little importance. The father and son would comply with her suggestion and would often return home with small things. Sometimes it would be a wood log, or some vegetables or some other articles, which were thrown by the owners considering it useless. With her wisdom and deftness, she would try to supplement the requirements of the family by putting the items in some or the other use. One day, it so happened that Prince Surendra found a dead snake on his way back home. As per his practice, he picked it up and returned home. On reaching home, he handed over the snake to his wife Suchitra. The young woman threw it on the roof of the cottage considering the snake useless and became busy with her work. The next day, Raghavendra and son Surendra went on their daily work. They were surprised to find the place bursting with unusual activity. When they inquired the reason for it, they came to know that an eagle had picked up the precious necklace of the queen and flown away. The queen had come to bathe in the nearby river. The queen was very much fond of her necklace and so was very sad to lose it. The king made an announcement that whoever brought the necklace back would be given a reward. That day everywhere, people were discussing about the lost necklace. When Surendra returned home in the evening, he told his wife about the strange incident and the announced rewards. Suchitra thought for a while and then rushed out. Surendra followed her in surprise. Suchitra climbed on the roof where she had thrown the snake. Lo, in the place of snake a necklace was lying. It was the same lost necklace. The eagle after picking up the necklace flew away from the river, which was at some distance to the cottage. The eagle happened to pass just above the roof of Suchitra's cottage. When the eagle eyed upon the dead snake, it dropped the necklace on the roof and picked up the snake. The eagle then flew away from there. Wise Suchitra had guessed after listening about the incident that she might find the necklace on her cottage roof and so she found it. Both the husband and wife were overjoyed to find the necklace. They at once rushed to the king's palace with the necklace. The queen was extremely happy to get her necklace back. The king was also very happy to see his beloved rejoice. The king asked Suchitra to ask for some reward. Suchitra humbly put forth a strange demand as her reward. She said, "Your Majesty, I don't want any monetary reward. I want that coming Diwali night not a single house should see light, not even the palace. Only my small cottage should be lighted up." Though the demand looked undesirable, the king was bound by his promise. He unwillingly accepted her demand. On Diwali night, all the houses of the capital were dipped in darkness. Not a single house of the city was lighted with lamps. When Goddess Laxmi arrived there at midnight, she was puzzled by the strange darkness prevailing all over. She tried to find out whether there was any trace of light. Far away, she noticed a ray of light. She walked in the direction. The light was coming out from a small cottage. It was the house of Suchitra. The goddess happily reached there and tried to enter into the cottage. But on the entrance, Suchitra was standing with a big club in her hand. Goddess Laxmi said in her soft voice, "Oh dear, allow me to come in. I've come here to bless you." Suchitra replied, "No, you can't enter my cottage. Go somewhere else." But each and every house is dipped in darkness. "Yours is the only house where I can relax tonight," said the goddess. "Why should I oblige you, Goddess Laxmi, when you took away all the prosperity and happiness from our family?" complained Suchitra. The goddess remembered her past act against King Raghavendra and his family. She said, "O young woman, I am happy to see your devotion towards your family. I promise you to return whatever your family has lost. Now allow me to spend the night in your cottage." After getting the assurance, Suchitra welcomed the goddess to her small cottage. Thus Goddess Laxmi spent that night in the humble cottage of Suchitra. Early in the morning, when Suchitra and her family members got up, they found that the goddess had already left. However, the place where she had slept was filled with immense riches. Gold coins, precious jewelries and invaluable gems had filled the small chamber of the cottage. Raghavendra, his wife, Surendra and Suchitra, everyone was startled to see the unexpected wealth. Suchitra told them about Goddess Laxmi's promise. All of them thanked the goddess from their heart for her blessings. Soon they set out for their kingdom with the riches. In no time, King Raghavendra won back his lost kingdom. They all were happy and prosperous again. But King Raghavendra was a changed person now. He was transformed into a humble and wise man who knew to make proper use of money and power.
Please subscribe my channel and encourage me to upload more videos.
Like, comment, share, subscribe and press the bell icon and never miss another update.